Hello students, today I'm going to tell you about the World Letter of Reference form. This should be completed by any student who is needing a letter of reference for the UK and Netherlands. Other world universities may need this letter of reference form. But it is going to be primarily used by students applying to the UK, Netherlands, other EU countries that require a letter of reference, and also some other world universities that have one letter of recommendation, or letter of reference rather, coming from multiple teachers and different sources. So I'm just going to show you, first of all, what steps you have to complete. This is actually the teacher form, but I wanted you to know that we tell the teachers what it is you're supposed to do. So we have instructed students to follow the below process for requesting this World Letter of Reference. You're supposed to email the teacher and ask for a brief meeting. In person, ask the teacher if they would be able to write you a World Letter of Reference. Tell the teacher this can be much shorter than a USA style, can be bullet points, etc. And we actually have given them now a form to fill out, as you see here. Then number 3, send the teacher your World Letter of Reference form filled out, telling them why you are a good fit for the subject and university you would like to apply to. So that's what you're supposed to do in terms of this process. So what we're going to do is you're going to go into Maya, under your Maya drive. Here we have the shared with me stuff. Here's the World Letter of Reference link. You have in here the link to the form. When you download the link and click on it here, there you go, it downloads, you click on the link. What comes up is the World Letter of Reference request form. Now, if you already completed this a long time ago, what you're going to do is actually email either me or Miss Heather and ask for your old responses back. You see we have the responses here of some of the students that have done it. Maybe you did it in 11th grade in our seminar. Maybe you did it at the beginning of the year. If you've already done it, please ask us for emailing to you your responses. Then if you've already done it, you can take those responses, cut and paste them into this form, and then add any additional information you would like your teacher to know. Obviously, updating from 11th grade is probably a good idea, specifically if you changed your major, the teachers, anything like that. But those of you who have done it in the past, we can help you get started on it by sending your responses, and then you can cut and paste and update. If you're doing it for the first time, you're going to go ahead and fill this out. And when you fill it out, there's right here, email addresses, collecting. This form is also collecting your email address. What is your first choice of majors? Make sure you be as specific as you can be here. And it will be for perhaps different schools. You might be applying to one subject in one country, another subject in another country. Make sure that you say that here. What universities are you applying that require a recommendation? Pretty straightforward one here. Making sure you know which universities will require a reference, which will not. Which teachers have you chosen to write your recommendation, and what classes do you have them with? Obviously, that's how you do it, right? What 4 adjectives best describe you? Take a few minutes to think about this one, especially adjectives that you have used in your personal statement. This World Letter of Recommendation form is actually also based upon the upside down triangle graphic for world universities that you all have read and looked at, and really models how you write a personal statement. So if you guys have really written your personal statement and you're doing the form for the first time or updating your form, taking direct data, information, quotes from your personal statement is actually a really good idea about how to get this done well and very quickly. If you have a second draft of a UK personal statement, you can take a lot of those statements and paste them right in here. And remember, the teachers aren't grading you on this, but the better information you give them, the better letter that we're going to get for you. Okay? So then you have the other categories, and you notice this is how you prove you're a good fit for Dutch universities or British universities or other world universities anyway. Describing a particular project, assignment, test. Remember, extended essays, good too. Could be that. Here it is too. We have another one, outside school. What is the connection between your experience, your intended major at university, and your NITO classes? And then this is the important bit as well down here. Is there anything else you would like your counselor or your teacher to know about you? So let's look at a specific example here. So I'm going to go to a specific example. 1 second. I'm just going to go to my responses here. 1 second, bring this up. Okay. And here we go. Okay, so this is an example of one that I have filled out. When you hit submit on this form, it's going to email you this information. So you see here I have filled it out, my email address. I'm interested in studying psychology. I say what universities, UK, all schools, Netherlands, right? Then I also have IE University, which IE is a different process. We'll talk about that with individual IE students and how they apply. But Netherlands and UK, all the same. So then we have down here which teachers, my 4 adjectives that describe me. Then I talk about here why I want to study psychology, what book I read in English class. Then I say down here how I related psychology to my history class. Then I have a mentorship here for school counseling that I completed. And I worked with a professor at University of Chile. Just giving you some examples of what some students may write. Down at the bottom here, I have really gone out of my way to show you a good example of what additional information could be like. This is also sort of like the USA additional information for those of you applying to the US and the UK. But I say, please remember that I came to NITO halfway through 10th grade. I needed to catch up in math a lot, and it was very stressful. My grades suffered because of this, but I've caught up now on the work and have a 92% Math SL or required subject for psychology in the UK. I would like Mr. Pi to focus on my hard work and determination to overcome this obstacle. So see, you're putting in a little note for Mr. Pi to read that he will then put that into your letter of reference. Also, I will see this and put that in my letter for you too. Okay? So after you hit submit on the form, you're going to get your response here. Then what you're going to do is actually forward this response to your 3 teachers. So you're going to forward your thing to Mr. Wellborn. You're going to forward it to Mr. Napier, and you're going to forward it to your other teacher, Miss Crosby. Okay? Okay. Then you're going to write them a little email. Thanks so much for helping with my letter of reference. Please let me know if you need more information. Okay? Something like that. Remember, you would have already had to have emailed your teacher, requested a meeting, gone to them, asked for their support in helping you with your letter of reference, and this email should come as no surprise to a teacher that you need them to help you. So remember, you're getting 3 different inputs on your letter of reference. Many students ask me, do I need 3? Yes, you need to have 3. They should be related to your course. Ideally, 2 of the 3 should be directly related. But you see how I have, psychology, English, and history. I'm relating it back to those 2 subjects, and obviously SL Math is a required subject for psychology specifically. So actually, in fact, all 3 of these are related to my major. They don't have to be. You could be going for business, and biology be your best reference. That seemingly isn't related, but remember, anything that has project-based work, leadership, thinking about ingenuity with design your own labs, all that is actually really good stuff for business study. So don't worry, you don't have to be the same name. You don't have to say, I'm studying economics, therefore I need my economics teacher. But if you are studying a relatable subject, going with those teachers is important, especially for USA kids. If you have 2 teachers, for example, you're wanting to study engineering in the UK, and then you're applying for just US general admissions. In the US, you can have an English teacher write it and a social studies teacher write it. But in the UK, you're going to have your HL Physics, HL Math, and then 1 other teacher do your statements for your reference, okay? Has to be, in some cases, directly related to your course. It just would look weird if you're going for engineering and you didn't have your HL Math and HL Physics teacher be part of your letter of reference, okay? So what happens next is after you send this email to the 3 teachers, that includes the form, they are then going to fill out this teacher reference form. Okay, so this is what they're going to see. What they're going to do is input, name 1 quality you believe the student is a good fit for their chosen major, and then they're going to provide at least 1 specific in-class example of how that student brought number 1 quality to life, okay? So they're going to write some stuff in here, write some stuff in here, then they do it 2 more times. So we have them do 3 qualities with 3 proofs, okay? And then down here, we have the final thoughts. What it is, give 3 or 4 sentences about why you believe this student will succeed at university. So then we have this last portion. So you see, it's not a ton of work that the teacher has to do, rather giving us very particular things that we want to know about you. Remember, we're going to take the 3 forms, the data from the 3 forms from the 3 teachers. Then Miss Heather and I will write a beginning to the letter of reference, then have your 3 teacher statements there, and then have a closing paragraph to your letter of reference. We're going to use that word, letter of reference. Most world universities use that word, and we're going to use the word recommendation to mean a full letter of recommendation, USA style. So once again, if you're going for a world letter of reference, that means now that they're going to do this process. If you need a USA style letter of recommendation, you are going to use the USA process that you already have a webinar about. So that's how you do the world process. We expect everyone to do it. And yeah, we hope that this has been helpful and informative. Bye.